This is John Brass from RunMichigan.com down here at the 2012 Olympic Trials for the Marathon on January 14th in Houston, Texas, and talking to Mike Reneau, and finished 20th out there today, and It was what, 2:14?
2:14:37, yeah.
All right, how's that for your time for you?
It's a PR, almost 2 minutes, so at 33, I'm happy with that.
And how did you, when you were coming into the race today, what were you thinking plans-wise for your race?
I mean, these kinds of races, it all depends so much on the dynamic of the race, and so, I mean, that's one of the nerve-wracking things about this kind of a race, is you just don't really know how the race is going to go. For me, a guy like me, I was hoping that, I could hold on to 5-minute pace as long as I could, and that's usually puts you in pretty solid contention, or, a top 10 finish at worst. It just happened to be a really, really fast day. I went out with a group of guys, including Mike Morgan, and we all worked together through 15 or so miles, and we're running a solid race, and I mean, it unraveled a little bit in the last 5 or so miles, but I think that was the case for everybody, just because it was such a quick pace initially. So
what were you thinking going that last lap when you knew you came by the finish line here with 8 miles to go?
Yeah.
What was the thought?
Well, the thought then is, do what you can. I mean, it's you're racing the people around you at that point. Clearly, the race for the Olympic team was probably 4 minutes up the road at that point. So it was Mike and I worked together a bit to try and catch the guys that were coming back from the lead group and the chase group, and managed to catch a few and move up and finish respectively. So. But it was just kind of hanging on a little bit too in the last few miles. It was really tough. But.
And I know you're living up in Minnesota now. And
right.
How's the training been going up there for you?
It's great. I mean, I think Minnesota had 28, 29, maybe even 30 qualifiers, or at least those with Minnesota ties. Either went to the University of Minnesota or live there now. And so there are always guys that you're going to run into going out for your runs. I mean, it's common for me to run into guys from Team USA Minnesota when I'm just out for a regular recovery run, and so it's a great running community, so it's been really good for me.
Now, are you training by yourself there, or do you have
For the most part,
okay.
yeah, and again, I mean, it's you can get guys to jump in workouts or recovery days, which for me are the hardest to get up for anyway. It's hard to get out the door sometimes when you're just going out for an easy 10 or 12 miles, and especially when it's 10 degrees outside. So it's just nice to have a really good group of guys out there, and there's always somebody that you can find and track down to meet up for a run. So.
And I know I assume you're still working for the Twin Cities Marathon, right?
Yeah, I do the elite athlete recruiting for the women's marathon, helping Matt Downen, who does the men's marathon, and that was my first year doing it this year, and it was a great experience, and I hope to continue with that well into the future. So.
And how is that? Since I know for a while here you've been on the elite racing side of it, how's it be on the other side of it in recruiting elite athletes?
I mean, it's interesting. I do the best job that I can, but it's just like any job when you get all these emails coming in and you get a little sidetracked, and you might miss a few here and there, and that's just kind of the way it goes. But being an athlete, certainly it kind of raises the bar, I think, in terms of your expectations of what you would expect as an athlete in terms of communicating with the athletes and assisting with their travel and their trip to the Twin Cities. So I do the best job I can. I certainly hope to improve on the job this year, but I think it was a good start.
I know you guys have an awesome marathon up there. Thanks to you, I got a chance to come up there and run it this year,
yeah.
And it was first time I'd been back there in a while, and it was just fun to see what a great job you guys are doing up there with it. So.
It's a great event, and they host. Minnesota last year hosted. They have hosted the Masters Marathon Championships for years. They host the men's and women's marathon championships in alternating years, or have in the past, and then the 10 mile hosted both events this year, as well as the US 1 mile, and then now we have the half marathon championships at the Grandma's or the Gary Bjorkland this year. So Minnesota's it's a thriving running community, so it's cool to be a part of it.
All right, Mike. Well, like I said, thanks for the interview, and congratulations on a great job out there on your 20th place finish today.
Yeah. Well, thank you.
All right.